Former President Muhammadu Buhari is dead. Today, Nigeria says goodbye to one of its most talked about leaders, Muhammadu Buhari. Whether you knew him as a military man, a president, or just Baba from Daura, one thing's for sure, Buhari left a big mark on Nigeria's story. He was 82 years old when he passed. And while he may be gone, his legacy, the good and the controversial things he did, will live in the hearts of millions. Former President Muhammadu Buhari was born in 1942 in the quiet town of Daura, Katsina State. Muhammadu Buhari grew up in a time when Nigeria was still under British rule. Like many young northern boys, he grew up tough, quiet, and disciplined. From an early age, Buhari showed signs of leadership, not with loud speeches, but with actions. That discipline led him to join the army, where he rose through the ranks quickly. He was focused, sharp, and didn't believe in cutting corners. By 1983, he became Nigeria's first head of state after a coup. It was a time of hardship and high tension. And Buhari, true to his nature, brought in strict rules, cracked down on corruption, and tried to set the country on a new path. Not everyone liked it. Some called him too harsh. Others said at least he brought order. But fate had other plans. In 1985, he was removed in another coup. Most people thought that was the end of his political story. But not Buhari. Fast forward 30 years later. In 2015, something historic happened. For the first time in Nigeria's history, an opposition candidate, Muhammadu Buhari. He defeated an incumbent president in a democratic election. This time, he wasn't wearing a uniform. He was dressed in agbada. He smiled more. He spoke about change, hope, and progress. People believed him. Many Nigerians, especially the youth, saw Buhari as a man who could clean up the system. Someone who wasn't hungry for wealth or fame. Just a man who wanted to fix Nigeria. And so, he became president. Not once, but twice. To be honest, his time in office wasn't perfect. There were challenges. The economy struggled, insecurity spread, and a lot of Nigerians had questions, difficult questions. But there were efforts too. Roads were built, rail lines were revived, corrupt officials were chased, and some communities began to feel the presence of a government again. Throughout it all, Buhari remained Buhari, calmed, reserved, not one for flashy headlines. He lived a simple life, rarely seen at parties, no loud entourage, just a quiet old soldier doing the job the way he thought was best. Some admired that, others wanted more. But today, as we remember him, we don't just remember a president or a general. We remember a man who served this country. A man who spent more than half of his life trying to shape this country. A husband, a father, a grandfather. A man who stood again and again in the line of duty. He wasn't perfect, no leader is, but he gave what he could in the way he knew how. And now he rests. To his wife Aisha, to his children, and to all who called him Baba, we say thank you for sharing him with the rest of us. And to Nigeria, we say, let's learn what we can from his time. Discipline, integrity, simplicity, and above all, service. Let history do the judging. Today, we just say goodbye. Good night, General President Buhari. Rest well, sir. You have done your part. Nigeria will remember you forever.
Nigeria, we hail thee.